no better game to show that for them than tonight, because if you reach, they've got guys who are going to make you pay over and over.
First of all, I have to ask, anything new with Kevin after the statement that was released a couple days ago?
Nothing.
And following on that, you guys have had a great week so far, another big game tonight. Do wins or losses in these games affect Kevin's timetable at all? Would you hold him out a little longer if you guys were winning or vice versa?
No. Kevin's timetable and re-entry, that's the right phrase, depends entirely 100% on his health. Nothing to do with wins and losses.
A week ago, you played against Rockets in Houston, and James Harden didn't shoot well because his left sore wrist. But overall speaking, he hasn't played well. He hasn't shot well against the Warriors this season for the last 3 games. Could you talk about the defensive scheme against him?
Well, he might be the hardest player to guard in the entire league. I mean, he's, if not the hardest, he's in the top few because of all the problems that he presents you as a point guard, a guy with that kind of size, ability to shoot threes, but also get to the rim, and then he's a brilliant passer. So all you can do is do your best to try to keep him off balance as best you can. And we've had some success at times, and not at others. But we're doing the best we can. We have a good defensive team, so we take pride in that. But we've also had some games against him where he just missed shots that I didn't feel like we affected him that much. And who knows, tonight he might go out there and make 8 threes. You'll be asking me why we played such poor defense. So sometimes the ball just doesn't go in, but you just try to make things as difficult as possible on players like that, and hope for the best.
Steph said something else interesting this morning about shoot-arounds. It would be easy for teams, especially maybe when April's approaching, to say, take that hour and just, it's an hour and let's get through this and get on with the day. But he's really impressed with the spirit and energy in these shoot-arounds at this stage of the season and just all year long with this group. What's your thought on that? And have you seen some, over the years, shoot-arounds that are just maybe not so exciting?
First, I'm glad he's telling you guys that. He never says that to me. So it's good to know that Steph appreciates our shoot-arounds, but I had to find out from you. So I'm going to have to go talk to Steph. She can just tell me that. No, I think we always try to make things productive and short and sweet, and hopefully kind of fun. But I think you can never bypass a chance to get better. The trick is, can you balance it? It's so easy to overload these guys. You've got to be able to teach them and give them something to absorb without just wearing them down, because it's day after day after day. We know this, and there's been this topic of rest that's been so prevalent the last few weeks. A big part of that is just the mental, the load that these guys have day after day, getting up for games and studying the game plan and everything else. Sometimes it's just best to not have them think at all and just just get some shots out. And other times you find a day where you think you could get a good message across, and I think that's part of coaching is trying to figure out when to say what.
Typically, teams in contention will probably use the last couple of games of the season to get some rest. With working KD back into the fold, might that change what you do as far as, I would assume you would want KD to try to get integrated with the actual guys he'll be playing with?
Yeah, I mean, that's, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. We have to, first of all, find out when he's coming back. And then with the other guys, I have to manage them individually regardless of what happens with Kevin. But we will absolutely take that into consideration. If it looks like KD's coming back for the last few games, then I will try to balance that out and get him on the floor with our regulars. And, it doesn't mean one or two of them won't get the night off, but we'll consider all of those things.
Hey, Steve, I've been doing my research, but anyway, you had said, I believe, that you thought Coach D'Antoni should win or could win or was deserving of Coach of the Year. Just wondering what's impressed you so much about the job he's done with the Rockets?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be one of a handful of guys who are going to get a lot of votes. And I think I said I think he's going to win it, and he is well deserving. But I think very easy to also name Scott Brooks and Brad Stevens and Pop. A lot of guys who are very, very deserving. But I think Mike will probably get it. I just think that what he's done with that team and the way they've built the offense around James, they added personnel that really made a lot of sense. So he and Darryl worked together last summer and did a great job, I think, of kind of figuring out the direction they wanted to go. And it's clicked. It's worked.
Steve, Paul will be back in the lineup.
Yeah, call.
The other question is, I got to call you out on this because Roy Williams called out Donald Trump. He said
Roy Williams did?
Roy Williams.
What did he say?
He said his tweets were BS and he didn't use the initials.
He said his what?
Tweets were BS.
Tweets?
BS tweets. I just wondered if you have a take on that.
You're just trying to drag me into the fray, aren't you?
No, he does not.
Already?
Raymond just answered for me. I don't. But his tweets are BS. I just can't believe Obama's still golfing out there. It's crazy. He shouldn't be golfing.
That go.
Iguodala's been pretty great lately.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you think a little rest rejuvenated him physically and mentally, or is it something less tangible than that?
I don't even remember the last time I gave him a rest. I guess it was at San Antonio.
Yeah.
I think what happened with Andre is when KD went out, he knew he had to step up, and he's also been really taking great care of his body. It's a contract year; that always helps. He's really pushing down the stretch. Been playing phenomenal basketball. I've said it many times. He's probably been our best player over the last month, and I don't know if I've ever really pushed any of our players for awards. With Steph for MVP or Draymond for Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe I have. It's not something I normally do, but I am sort of intrigued by the Sixth Man of the Year award. Because it seems like it should just say like highest scoring player off the bench award. But if it depends on how people look at it. But if you want to look at the best sixth man in the game in terms of impacting winning, there's no way anybody's better than Andre. He's like a starter for us, and he's played backup point guard. He's currently our backup power forward. He guards the best player every single night. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. He comes in and he automatically guards the best guy. I think he leads the league in assist to turnover ratio. I mean, this guy, he's phenomenal. And but people are going to look at the stats and go, well, he's averaging 6, whatever it is, 7 points a game. I don't know how many points. It's probably 7.
7.
Yeah, and then they're going to find somebody who averages 17. They're going to, we got to go for that guy. But I don't know. For those of you with votes, remind you, this game is about a lot more than just scoring. And there's my push for Andre. He'll probably cuss me out for saying that too.
Speaking of award voting, particularly this year, it seems like people are trying to push for co-MVPs without talking about which player and whatnot. Are you in favor of something like that, or should somebody make a hard tough decision and get the award to one person?
I think we should have an electoral college for the I remember there was actually a tie between Grant Hill and Jason Kidd for Rookie of the Year, and I always wondered, was that exact? Was it really like an exact vote? And I don't know the answer to that. It's a rhetorical question, I guess, but I think if one guy has one vote more than the other, then he should win. Whoever wins the vote should win. I don't think you should finagle it to make everybody happy.
I don't think you were prepped, but it's about 49ers general manager John Lynch. He mentioned y'all are, if not neighbors, live near each other.
Yeah.
And are at least friendly. You guys have some similarities in how you came to your current jobs. Just wondering kind of if there is a relationship there, what it's like, and are you kind of intrigued to see how he does, given kind of his unique path?
Yeah, I know John from San Diego, from North County. I've run into him many times down there. We actually ran into each other at the Arizona Sweet 16 game against Xavier last week. His father-in-law is a big U of A guy who played football in Arizona. So we ran into each other, and I'm a big fan. I think John's great, sharp guy. I think he's really passionate about the job that he's jumping into, and I always really have a lot of respect for people who know what they don't know and hire good people around them, and I think that's what John's going to do. I think he's just really sharp. I think he's going to be great. There's always a learning curve with this stuff, and he knows that. But I'm anxious to see how he does and support him, as best I can. Thank you.
Thank you.